Gyanvapi Mosque scientific survey report has been submitted to a court of the district judge in Uttar Pradesh's Varanasi by the Archaeological Survey of India. The report was submitted as a sealed document on Monday, which is today, viewers. It is unclear if this will be made public or shared with either the Hindu petitioners or the petitioners who say that there is a mandir under the mosque, or, viewers, the masjid site. We don't know. The next date of the hearing has been fixed for Thursday. Let's hope there will be clarity. The masjid side opposed a public report, while the petitioners have objected to a sealed report. Let's open this up, because the problem is that even before the report has come out, the masjid side has come out and said, we don't accept it. In principle, in toto. It could say anything. It could say, yes, there was a temple under this mosque, but we don't accept it. Science is not for us. I want to open this up, viewers, because this really creates a problem. It's a conundrum. And I want to go straight across to Shankar Jain. We also have with us Mr. Kamru Choudhury and Dr. Ranganathan. So let's just go straight. Now, Shankar Jain ji, thank you very much. I just want to ask you, you're upset that this report has been presented in a sealed cover. Yes. Why are you upset about that?
Question is not upsetting. Question is that the court has directed them to file a report. They made a request in the Supreme Court that report should be sealed cover. Supreme Court rejected that prayer. Even then, SI submitted a sealed cover. Why is it suppressed from the eyes of the public? Only thing is that something is being suppressed. Why? I want the truth to come out before the court. And one day or the other, you have to give the report. You can't keep it confidential for a long time. Maybe for the time being. Due to any reason, whatever, I don't know. But it can't be. Because out of 26, Rule 9, of 11 of PC says the report will submitted, supplied to the parties, and they may file their objection to that.
Okay.
I, as a Muslim, they are entitled to file objection.
Sounds reasonable. If a survey has been conducted, we need to know what the survey is saying. Yes. Why should it be presented in a sealed cover? Okay, one second, Kamru Choudhury. The masjid side has already come out and said we are not going to accept the report. Now, what if the report concludes that there was actually a Hindu temple under this? Then should the Hindus sort of sit back and say, okay, well, fine, the masjid side
Rahul,
is not accepting,
so... Rahul, I hope you are aware of the Ayodhya judgment of the Shahid Babri Masjid case. I hope what the Supreme Court said with regards to the ASI report. Let me just read you. The 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court in the Babri Masjid case, however, did not find any evidentiary value in the ASI's report to decide the title suits filed by the contesting parties. What it said, a finding of title cannot be based in law on the archaeological findings which have been arrived at by ASI. Title to the land must be decided on settled legal principles and applying evidentiary standards which govern a civil trial. Between the ASI report has left unanswered a critical part of the remit which was made to it, namely a determination of whether a Hindu temple had been demolished to pave way for the construction of the mosque. A determination of title was not obviously within the remit of the ASI. So the report of the ASI, if it did not hold in the case of the Babri Masjid case, will it hold in the case of the Gyanvapi case? It's a question of debate and for the courts to decide.
This is the most bizarre argument I've ever heard in my entire life. No, it's like the Hamas saying that, we could not find tunnels. You see, we could not find tunnels. The Israelis could not find tunnels. Let me just bring in Dr. Ranganathan. It's not a question of narrative, sir. Let me explain. This is like this is a bizarre argument.
Now you tell me the second point that I'm coming to.
Okay,
second most important point.
Okay.
Between the 12th century,
we are friends.
To which the
have I ever interrupted you?
Now,
come on,
Anandji,
I don't know why today. I always give you my time.
I'm just reading out from a piece of paper of the High Court Supreme Court judgment.
Okay, you're saying the Supreme Court questioned the ASI's competence in the Babri Masjid. Therefore, we should disregard the ASI's competence to judge.
I'm not telling that. I'm not for the courts to decide.
It's for the courts to decide. Okay. So 1 minute,
Coming
viewers,
to
just
the
think
basic,
about the
most
logic here.
important point.
We'll take it
Coming
one
to
and
the
one.
most important.
Okay,
most
most important.
10 seconds I'll
Okay,
take.
most point, yeah.
Okay, you tell me, between the 12th century to which the underlying structure is dated and the construction of the mosque in the 16th century, there is an intervening period of 4 centuries. The court observed with regards to the Babri Masjid case.
Okay.
No evidence has been placed on record in relation to the course of human history
Okay.
between the 12th and 16th centuries.
Okay,
Now
viewers, we are talking not about the Babri Masjid tonight. We are actually talking about another mosque called the Gyanvapi. I think, I don't know, did the guest relations people give you the wrong... Okay, we are not... Okay, okay, one second. Okay, Kamru Choudhury, please. Okay, fine, let's come to Mathura.
That is the same toolkit that is doing.
Same toolkit. Now, you heard, I'm not saying it, viewers, he's saying it's a toolkit. The ASI goes and it tries to certify things that don't exist. Look at what happened in Babri Masjid. It's a bit like the Hamas saying that, look, the Israelis did not find a tunnel in Ayodhya, one of our tunnels, so it can't exist in Palestine. I mean, that's the logic here, viewers. It's a strange logic, but it is true. Dr. Ranganathan, what do you make of this?
Yes, Rahul, I hope I will not be interrupted by my great friend Kamruji, because in fact, he has eaten into my time. So I plead with you, Kamruji, because I'm going to deal with only facts. And I thought, Kamruji lived in Bengal, not in Alice in Wonderland, unless Didi is another acronym is also called Alice. You can bury the truth, but a day always comes when it is excavated. Please remember this. And he's talking about Supreme Court. I will now quote verbatim Supreme Court. Rahul, the only friend of justice is evidence. And evidence it was that prevailed. You may point to a multitude of factors that led to the Supreme Court to its Ayodhya verdict. But in my opinion, had there been no ASI report, there would not have been that verdict. I take you back to the story of the Turin shroud that for 2000 years was believed to have been used for wrapping the body of Jesus Christ after crucifixion.
Yeah.
Until in 1989, when scientists proved through carbon dating that it was only 600 years old. That is the brute force of truth and science and evidence. They are the bulwarks for justice. Let me now sum up the SC Ayodhya judgment with facts taken from the judgment verbatim. This is what the SC accepted. 1. The Babri Mosque was not constructed on vacant land. 2. The excavation indicated the presence of an underlying structure below the disputed structure. 3. The underlying structure was at least of equal, if not larger dimension than the disputed structure. 4. The excavation of the walls of the underlying structure coupled with the presence of pillar basis supports the conclusion of the ASI of the presence of a structure underlying the disputed structure. 5. The underlying structure was not of Islamic origin. 6. Archaeological finds in the area of excavation reveal significant traces of successive civilization commencing with the age of the North Black polished warehouse traceable to 2nd century BC. 7. On a preponderance of probabilities, the archaeological findings in the nature of the underlying structure indicate it to be of Hindu religious origin dating to the 12th century AD. 8. The mosque in dispute was constructed upon the foundation of the pre-existing structure. 9. The layered excavation at the site of excavation has also revealed the existence of a circular shrine together with a Makara Pranala indicative of Hindu worship dating back to the 8th to 10th century. 10. The underlying structure which provided the foundation of the mosque together with archaeological features and recoveries are suggestive of a Hindu religious origin. 11. Just 30 seconds. The conclusion which has been drawn by the ASI that the nature of the underlying structure and the recoveries which have been made would on stylistic ground suggest the existence of a temple structure dating back to the 12th century AD would on balance of probabilities be a conclusion which is supposed by evidence. 12. Finally, the 1891 ASI report was also cited by one of the Supreme Court judges, and it unequivocally stated that Mir Khan built a masjid on the Janamsthan during the reign of Babur, which still bears his name. Quote, this old temple must have been a very fine one. End quote. ये कहते हैं फैक्ट्स को टेबल पे लाना, और कमरू जी जो आप लाए हैं वो एलिस ऑफ वंडरलैंड में घूमते घुमाते आ गए.
Now let me tell you another thing, viewers. A matter of fact, I only deal in the hard facts so you can get closer to the truth, viewers. The ASI report in the Babri Masjid case, one of the most significant ones, was prepared by archaeologist K.K. Muhammad. K.K. Muhammad, who claimed to have witnessed firsthand the remains of a Ram temple under the Babri Masjid in Ayodhya as an archaeologist. And then he alleged in his book, and he won a Padma Shri, viewers, in 2019. Let me tell you this. So this is not some fly-by-night operator. K.K. Muhammad said in his book that the ASI became a wholly paralyzed body. Wholly paralyzed. Once it discovered what it discovered. So viewers, you tell me today, if scientific evidence yields under that mosque the remains of a temple and one of the holiest to corroborate the written record, should we tear up that ASI report and say we don't accept it? Are we going to say today that the faith is above constitutionalism and completely dismantle our secular democratic way? No, viewers, we can't. This would be an act of betrayal and it would cause a problem. Anyhow, I'm not going to presage any event and get ahead of myself. Let's see what happens in a couple of days, viewers. We'll be right here. It is now going to be incumbent upon the sides, whether it's the Hindu side or the Muslim side, to accept